death of Anna Kepner aboard the Carnival ship. Good day, and welcome back to Murder Mistress, the channel that examines America's most complex and heartbreaking criminal cases with clarity, precision, and an unwavering commitment to uncovering the full truth behind the headlines. Before we continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe. It truly helps the channel continue its work and ensures that cases like this one receive the attention and scrutiny they deserve. Tonight's investigation brings us aboard a massive cruise liner, the Carnival Horizon, a ship intended to be a floating paradise for families seeking sun, escape, and a few days of peace far from the chaos of everyday life. Instead, it became the scene of a death that has stunned Florida communities, shaken investigators, and raised chilling questions about what really happened inside a small stateroom during a Caribbean vacation. It is the story of 18-year-old Florida cheerleader Anna Kepner, whose life was cut short in circumstances that authorities now believe may involve foul play from someone shockingly close to her. This case quickly captured national attention not just because of where it happened, but because of who may have been involved. Court filings, family interviews, and federal investigators now point toward a troubling possibility: that Anna's 16-year-old stepbrother, a boy who reportedly shared her room on the ship, may have played a direct role in her death. Early descriptions refer to him as a suspect, though formal charges have not yet been filed. What is clear, however, is that his behavior toward Anna in the months before the cruise had already raised red flags that some now believe were dire warnings. The Carnival Horizon departed for a 6-day Caribbean voyage with Anna, her siblings, and her newly blended family on board. What should have been a celebration of togetherness became a tragedy by the time the ship was returning to Miami. On the morning of November 7th, a cabin steward entered Anna's stateroom. What that staff member discovered would trigger a federal investigation involving surveillance footage, swipe card data, cell phone records, and hours of interviews with family members and passengers. Anna Kepner was found hidden under a bed. Authorities would later confirm that she had died from asphyxiation caused by a bar hold, a maneuver involving an arm locked across the neck. 2 bruises were found on the side of her throat, injuries consistent with controlled pressure intended to restrict airflow. Someone had used force. Someone had placed her under the bed. And someone had walked out of that stateroom acting as though nothing had happened. Federal jurisdiction applies in international waters, so the Federal Bureau of Investigation immediately took control of the case. Agents boarded the ship, secured the stateroom, and began reconstructing the hours leading to Anna's death. Then came the disturbing reports from home. According to Stephen Weston, the father of Anna's ex-boyfriend, Anna had expressed fear about her 16-year-old stepbrother long before the cruise began. Weston told reporters from Inside Edition that the minor had been obsessed with Anna from early in the family's blending. He allegedly followed her, pushed boundaries, and behaved in ways that caused growing alarm. One specific incident described by Weston involved Anna waking up to find her stepbrother climbing on top of her while she slept. The implication was not subtle, and the fear it caused stayed with her. Then there was the knife. Weston reported that the boy frequently carried a large knife and that Anna had described him as someone who made her feel unsafe. She reportedly confided that she could not relax around him. To investigators, these details now appear less like uncomfortable anecdotes and more like pieces of a larger pattern. A pattern of fixation, a pattern of intimidation, and possibly a pattern of escalating behavior. As the FBI continues to build its timeline, several key details have emerged. First, Anna and her step-siblings were assigned to share a cabin together on the ship. That means the last individuals to see Anna alive were most likely those same step-siblings, including the 16-year-old boy at the center of the investigation. Second, authorities are reviewing the electronic logs showing when each passenger entered and exited the cabin using their swipe cards. Third, surveillance cameras on board the Carnival Horizon capture the hallways surrounding every stateroom. Investigators will know who approached, who left, and whether there were gaps inconsistent with Anna's known movements. Court documents filed shortly after Anna's death revealed something else. Her stepmother requested delays in an unrelated custody hearing, citing that her son was under active criminal investigation for his potential involvement in Anna's death. That filing, made in a Florida family court, was the first official acknowledgement that the minor may face charges. That revelation changed the tone of this case. What began as a mysterious death aboard a cruise ship quickly turned into a suspected homicide investigation with a family member at its center. Family members interviewed by the media have described Anna as a bright, athletic, well-loved teenage girl who was looking forward to graduation and who cherished her cheerleading life. Friends said she was kind and outgoing, someone who easily brought energy into any room. None could imagine her becoming the victim of violent crime, especially on a family vacation, surrounded by people she trusted. The FBI's working theory has not been publicly confirmed, but several sources close to the investigation say the evidence suggests a deliberate act rather than an accident. The use of a bar hold is significant. It indicates either training or exposure to that type of maneuver. It is not typically applied without intention. It is controlled, targeted, and forceful. Investigators will be seeking medical records, school history, sports involvement, or any environment where the minor might have learned or mimicked such a move. Another key question concerns the time frame. Cabin stewards are trained to identify irregularities quickly. The window between Anna last being seen alive and when her body was found may help narrow down when the fatal assault occurred. The ship's logs, combined with passenger and crew statements, will help investigators determine whether the minor was alone with Anna, whether there was noise reported by neighboring cabins, or whether any suspicious movement was captured on the ship's internal systems. Passenger interviews have already begun. Cruise ships are unique investigative environments because each person aboard becomes a potential witness. Someone may have passed Anna in the hallway. Someone may have seen her stepbrother acting erratically. Someone may have heard something that seemed insignificant at the time but will become crucial in hindsight. As this case progresses, authorities will also be examining what happened immediately after Anna was killed. Moving her body under the bed suggests a desire to delay discovery. It is an action consistent with panic or an attempt to conceal involvement. Investigators are analyzing the condition of the cabin, whether there were signs of a struggle, and what digital evidence may show from the hours surrounding her death. Cell phone records alone could reveal whether there were text messages, searches, or deleted content relevant to motive or state of mind. The FBI,